All right, guys, this is the deal. Okay, I guess they couldn't reactivate my card, so they sent me out of there. Sent me out of there. I cannot do my route tonight. First night tonight. Got inside the place okay. Got up into a gate on time or ahead of time, ahead of schedule. Everything scanned out all right. And sure enough, they kicked me to the curb. Kicked me to the curb over an terminated ID tag. So I talked to one of the guys from the subcontractor. He called and he told me that everything should be straightened out by tomorrow and things of that nature. So hopefully I can get back to work tomorrow night, because they have all day tomorrow to fix this madness. So hopefully, excuse me a second. I gotta get my lunch out here. I'm gonna have lunch. I mean, this is usually lunchtime for me around this time of the morning, around four something. What time is it? It's 4:36. So I usually have lunch around 4, regardless if I'm driving or not. I'll eat. So a lot of people don't realize that when you fall asleep and when you start falling asleep at the wheel, the best thing to do is to eat something, because food is energy, and most of the time it's because you're hungry, but you're so busy concentrating on the road that you don't realize that you're hungry. So, guys, I give you a word of advice. I know I haven't been in trucking long, but for the ones that like to fall asleep at the wheel or find themselves falling asleep at the wheel, eat you eat you a sandwich, some peanuts. Make sure it's something with protein. Just don't grab a bag of chips or something like that. This is a cake. It's not really the same. You need energy, and protein is energy, guys. So whenever you start to fall asleep at the wheel, just eat you something, sandwich or something with some protein, and trust me, you'll be back up to par for at least maybe 3 or maybe 4 hours. But anyway, I'm gonna have lunch, and it's been a wild ride, man. I mean, let's recap. I got here earlier today. I hired someone to drive this box truck, or to drive their truck, follow me. He has an SUV. He was going to follow me in his SUV back to my house. I live in Farmville, a small town in North Carolina. And he was going to follow me back to my house while I drive the box truck back. And then that way he was going to take me back to Wilson so I can pick up my SUV and then go home. Then I have both of my vehicles, or both of the vehicles, in the same place. Guess what happens? I get here, somebody stole one of the fuel caps. So since somebody stole one of the fuel caps, of course I had to wait till somebody comes up with a fuel cap. Nobody comes up with a fuel cap. I get here. That was problem number 1. Problem number 2, nobody shows up with a fuel cap. So problem number 2 is I had to MacGyverize myself a fuel cap. Got that out of the way. And then I get to the place, go inside, and then problem number 3 occurs. They kicked me out of the place over a terminated identification tag. So it's been a very wild ride. But I talked to the guy that owns the truck, the guy I'm driving for. He says he's gonna compensate me. He says he's gonna give me a half a day's pay, for what happened, which is cool, and I deserve that, because I don't like wasting my time. Nobody really does, especially when it comes to this industry. So yeah, you need to compensate me for my time, which is cool. I appreciate that. But hopefully, they'll get themselves together, man, because right now, I don't think anybody really has themselves together, because they had all day today to get me into the system. All day long. So I don't get it. Hopefully they'll get it together, man. Those Destiny computers, you know, you guys. I mean, shoot, if it would have been me, and I understand the rules and everything, but if it's somebody that's been working for you guys for like a year, because I worked for those guys for like a year delivering those packages, I made them a lot of money in 2020, and this was during the COVID outbreak. You know, this was during the essential worker era. I was an essential worker, so I think they should look at that. They should have looked at that. Let me take that load anyway. I know they have policy, but I believe they should have let me take that load anyway, because that load had to be delivered tonight. It had to be all those packages had to be delivered by 8 in the morning. Now they had to cancel the load, find somebody else to take the load, in which there's not too many people doing eastern routes. These are all most of the routes I do are eastern routes. Since I live in the eastern North Carolina, I have mostly eastern routes, and there's not too many people that's doing eastern routes, because most people live in the Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill Triangle area, or they live in Greensboro, or Winston-Salem, places like that. So a lot of people, they take the western routes because Raleigh is a large city, it's a mid-sized city, and a lot of people live there. So most of the people that work there live in either Raleigh or Durham, Cary, and places like that, surrounding areas. So there's not too many people that's doing the eastern routes. But I guess they feel like, they just couldn't do it. It's policy. Couldn't make it happen. But anyway, while I'm talking to you guys, I might as well tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Wayne Roundtree. I'm 52 years old. I was born in Washington, D.C. back in 1969. And we moved around a little bit. We moved down here to North Carolina we moved from D.C. to New Jersey. We moved down here in North Carolina when I was like 8 years old. And I grew up right here in North Carolina. And once I got old enough, I moved up north, and I moved to Jersey, and I moved to different places, Baltimore, D.C., back to D.C. I went to Job Corps back in 1990, and once I graduated from Job Corps, I got job placement at the USDA Forest Service headquarters in Atlanta. I lived in Atlanta for a while. I moved back to North Carolina. Then I decided to move back to New Jersey. Then I went from New Jersey to Rhode Island, and I lived in Rhode Island for 17 years. I don't know, a lot of people, well, I'm pretty sure a lot of you truckers know where Rhode Island is. It's in New England, and it's cold. It gets very cold up there during the winter. But I liked it, so I stayed there 17 years, and then I decided to move back south. My father, he's not getting any younger, and my stepmother died, and he's there by himself. So at this present time, I decided to move back home, to look after him a little bit, make sure he's good, and that way he won't be alone, So, but anyway, that's me, I'm saying in a nutshell. I've done other things, maybe one day we'll, in later videos, I'll discuss a little bit more of my personal life, but I don't want to really get too personal about my personal life. I really want to do this channel about what I really want to do it about, which is trucking. But since I'm sitting here and nothing else to do, I figure I'd give you a little bit about myself. And I guess that's it. Like and subscribe, and you know what, guys? Give me some comments. Give me some comments. Do you actually think I should stick with this guy? Because this is my first time back with this guy in 4 months, and I've had 3 mishaps within a 12-hour span. So if you think I should, get away from this guy and try someone else, leave me a comment. If you think I should stick with it, and until things get better, leave me a comment, let me know, because I know there's a lot of other experience, a lot more truckers out there that's a lot more experienced than I am, even when it comes to the puppies, well, I call them the puppies, the box trucks. So if you box truck drivers out there, the ones that that's doing videos and stuff, hit me up, man. Let me know give me some insight. What you think I should do about the situation as far as every time I hop into this truck, there's a problem. You know, if it's either something with the truck or something with the system or something. It's always something. I mean, I could tell you stories for days about how things went for me last year, especially during the COVID. But, you know, we'll save that for another time. So anyway, like and subscribe, you know. And I get back with you guys. You know, Wayne's Journal of Trucking. Hit me up. I'll holler. One.